Hey everybody, it has been a minute since I've talked to everyone. It's been about a month since the last video I put out with bi-weekly podcast. Honestly, I just got caught up in my own stuff, be it with college courses or personal life or whatever. But I'm doing better now. Don't worry, don't worry. Feeling pretty good, feeling pretty groovy. I watched Superman, so I'm feeling really punk rock, and I'm enjoying myself. And also, I didn't mean to look like Cheech or Chong. I don't know which one's which, but the one with the long hair and the bandana and the circular glasses and the beardage. Um, but enough intro stuff and gappage. I hope you enjoyed the video, me yapping for however long I'm yapping for to catch up. And I hope you have a good time. Hey, so first things first, I messed up a little bit. So I talked about this in last night's video on the 18th about it's right in front of me. DC's Mr. Miracle TV show, which I'm pretty excited for. It looks good. It's going to be based off the comic book series of the same name and same themes and everything. I talked about it last time, but I got a lot wrong, so I ended up just plucking it out of the video. There was a lot that was going on with last time's video. I was a few days late, a few hours late. It was very sloppily done, and I feel really embarrassed about that, so that's why I kind of took a hiatus to focus on the other aspects of my life that I realized I was getting distracted by and wasn't giving my full attention towards this video format with bi-weekly poll. Like I'm in school doing a university asynchronous. I have a job. It's not a big job or anything, but it takes some time and energy. But I was just getting really distracted by that. And I want to make sure that when I'm putting this out here, regardless of what stuff I am putting out, it's going to be quality. And that what I'm going to be providing you is accurate to what I can bring up, which is why I'm going to be doing better in terms of actually putting links in the description so you can go and research this stuff for yourself, going as close to the original source as I can. But with that said, yeah, it's going to be Mr. Miracle. It's going to be following Scott Free, which was the first Mr. Miracle. I believe there's been 2 or 3. But it's going to be following him going after Darkseid, considering the fact that he seemingly has the anti-life equation, as you can see here in the description. It's, again, as in the description, going to be following Creature Commandos. It's not explicitly stated whether or not it will be part of the DCU, if it's going to be in the same boat as Superman, which, amazing. We'll talk about that later. Don't you worry, don't you worry. But seems really fun considering what I've seen out of Creature Commandos. I haven't seen that series yet. I haven't gotten Max or HBO Max. I think they just rebranded into. But they're doing a pretty bang up job. Then after that, we're going to be getting Starfire. My Adventures with Green Lantern and DC Superpowers, which should be pretty fun. So moving right along from DC's Mr. Miracle TV show, we are going to be looking at the comic book side of things with DC and Marvel. They're going to be doing another crossover set. So this is going to be the third one, I believe, maybe second. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure third, right? So back in the mid-90s, there was DC versus Marvel, where they pitted the characters against each other from their respective universes, and it was a lot of fighting, namely in terms of it was very much in the same vein as Battle World from Secret Wars, where it's just characters fighting for the sake of fighting, really, and you throw a little bit of narrative chunks there to get to that point. But there was also some fun stuff like Robin and Jubilee kind of getting a fling going on while their universes were intertwined or connected. Then after that was Amalgam, where they mixed characters together into their own special little continuity universe, however you want to state it, with I think his name was Darkwing for Batman and Wolverine. We had Superman, Captain America, and different mixes like that going on. And now going to the third venture is going to be starting off with Batman and Deadpool. Which, pretty interesting. I feel like it's just throwing 2 popular characters together that don't necessarily have a lot intertwining. I mean, if anything, I can see Deadpool fighting Deathstroke in this, just due to the fact that it's a crossover. And of course, Deadpool was inspired by Deathstroke kind of in a parody sense. But something I want to note with this before moving on to the other crossovers is that it's the first reveal of Batman's new symbol and new costume design, which I'm really digging. I like not necessarily how low-tech, but streamlined it is. It's not like big and chunky armor. It looks like an actual costume that you could put on as opposed to just chunky bits of armor like he's Iron Man or something. And then Deadpool has this very all new, all different kind of design to him, which I'm also liking a lot, especially with all these little knickknacks on the side with the this water gun, this rubber chicken, and the bat repellent. Gotta keep that on you when you're in the DCU. But over on Marvel's website, they actually go and talk about more of the crossovers happening, which will be, at least for now, Daredevil and Green Arrow, Captain America and Wonder Woman, and Jeff the Landshark and Crypto. Going into it, I feel Daredevil and Green Arrow is going to be really... Daredevil and Green Arrow, yeah, are going to be really strong narratively. I think Captain America and Wonder Woman will be a really neat set, considering these two are kind of just like these ideas and themes personified. So I think it'll be fun to see those two running around and just interacting, considering how stoic the two are. And then Jeff the Landshark and Crypto just seems really fun, especially since those two are kind of the popular mascot characters right now. More so for Jeff the Landshark than Crypto, at least from what I've seen. Considering Jeff the Landshark's inclusion in Marvel Rivals, which has been doing really well. I myself recently got the recent season with Phoenix and Symbiote, and that's been really, really dope. I've been enjoying that. Then with Crypto, the Superdog, of course, being included in the Superman live-action film, which came out like 2 weeks ago. Really fun. I really recommend you go see that. I've had a lot... No, not even 2 weeks ago, actually. Sorry, the 11th. This is being recorded on the 16th. But it was a really good movie. I'll talk about that more later in a future segment. Don't worry. Hey, and going past some comic stuff, we're going to be talking about toys, namely the Transformers. So the studio series will be making Megatron from the 86 movie. So that's way back when. Like, the show came out in 1984. Then 2 years later, they did the 1986 movie where they introduced a lot of interesting lore and stuff, and in my opinion the show really took a dip after the movie. That's neither here nor there really. So with Megatron, we're going to be getting this little sword that he uses to stab Optimus Prime, their big final battle before they go their separate ways, before Megatron gets dumped and turns to Galvatron, and before Optimus Prime dies and pass the newly introduced Matrix of Leadership to Ultra Magnus, which, yeah, a little lore dump for you. I know my stuff. Not really. But Megatron here will be turning into a tank as opposed to a handgun, which you do get a little handgun accessory. There's some... I don't even know how to describe it. There's something going on to where, like, you can't have a handgun toy, or at least you can have a realistic looking one just for laws and reasons like that. But the tank is fine, right? And over here you can see in the picture, I think that's Soundwave holding him. I'm going to take a guess that that's Soundwave holding him just due to the fact that it's a blue arm and that's, like, his right-hand man. But you can see he's handheld, he fits easily, and he can also port on the tank mode. Yeah, it looks accurate to the original design for Megatron as a handgun. It's just missing the kind of like stock that goes here that falls along the forearm. I will put up a picture because I don't really know how to describe that properly. Then we'll also be getting the Hearts of Steel designs for the characters of the Transformers, which was a series where they arrived in the late 19th century instead of the 20th century, where we had, you know, just trains, first models of airplanes, that kind of stuff. Which is going to be starting off with Optimus Prime and Starscream in a 2-pack. You can see their alt modes here, where he's this very boxy kind of biplane design, and then Optimus Prime is just a little conductor man in the front. Then from the live stream link below, they also showed off Bumblebee and Megatron. They're not currently listed on Hasbro Pulse, but again, like I've said in previous videos, probably give it a week or two and they'll be up. And in that same live stream, they also showed off prototypes for Arachnid and Alpha Trion from Transformers 1. Which you can see here, they have both the bot mode and the alt mode for Arachnid, which I'll show off the designs from the movie here, which pretty faithfully redone. I'm really excited for that, with her drone helicopter thing going on with the multiple propellers, like 3 of them. And same deal for Alpha Trion. They got the broken horn, they got the mossiness on the Unilion, I'm going to call it, and they got the flail tail. Which again, really well done and recreated. I wonder if they're gonna have the cape as like an extra thing, or if that's gonna have to be like a third party that I have to go through in order to get that. Sticking with Hasbro, we also have the current HasLab, which is G.I. Joe Snowcat for the Classified series. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not huge into G.I. Joe as in knowing all the characters and everything. I'm more familiar with Transformers, with DC, with Marvel, with all their random wacky characters, so I'm not as acquainted as I should be. But what I can cover on this and cover properly is the tier system. So currently we are in need of a little over 1,000 to reach the minimum backing. But after that, there are tiers after that, right? That will unlock, say, Lady J in her Arctic gear, a battle station. I don't know how to say that first word. I'm not even gonna try it. And also, Flint in his Arctic gear. So the way it works, it's very similar. I mean, it's not very similar. It straight up is. Like previous HasLabs that have been released, like Unicron, Galactus, and the Sentinel, to where there's a limited amount of time for a certain amount of backers to be reached, just because this is such a big project that not necessarily everyone's going to want to get their hands on. But for the select few that do, you can put your money forward and, fund it, right? And be known as one of the few people that actually actively participated to make this a real thing. And after you reach that minimum amount of backers, there are different tiers where you can get extra stuff that isn't necessarily, but certainly livens up the figure, right? With Galactus, it was more heralds, it was multiple faceplates, a whole different head that was like Doctor Doom. With Sentinel, it was damaged faceplate. It was more like Bastion and other like small Sentinels that went with them, which was really neat. But stuff like that will be available with this. So if you're interested in G.I. Joe and you like the Snowcat, go for it, man. Then looking over at Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, we have from McFarlane, from the Fallout TV show, Lucy. She's coming over with a dog, which sadly, the dogs never get articulated in the McFarlane toys. It's really frustrating. But she has her basic suit, little backpack, little Fallout Vault 33 rucksack. She has multiple hand sculpts and head sculpts, which has this weird faceplate thing where you slide it out and insert like right here underneath her, well, not bangs, but just her hair. Here, better explanation. You can see how strange this looks. Yeah, but we have like when she lost her finger, when she had another one stitched back on top of it. A couple of pistols, and then, like I said, the different head sculpts. I've never looked at how strange that is, to be honest with you, because I don't collect McFarlane that much. I think I explained that in the last video, but they've been upping their game with certain stuff here and there, like with having fabric, with having like bendy wire in the cape and hood, so you can actually pose it. And instead of having like whole different like heads they have to pop off, it's just the faceplate, which hypothetically cheaper. It's something I haven't had much experience with. Hey, and next I want to talk about Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So, let's see, a little bit of backstory here. This links to a side series to the Resident Evil series called Resident Evil Outbreak, which was just meant to follow other perspectives of how people survived and went through everything that happened due to the T-Virus in Resident Evil 2. And one of the people was Alyssa Ashcroft, and this is her daughter Grace, who's a member of the FBI and is I believe, a pathologist, and is studying these couple of murders that have very similar, like chemical trace backgrounds, at least from the little information droplets they're giving us in this trailer. But I'm excited. It looks like we're going to be following her going back to the old Raccoon City post nuke. And just figuring out more about her mother, her disappearance, and this new threat that seems to be arising, which they're just showing us the landscape right now. They're going to show us the RPD that's all ruined. We're going to be returning there, looking at that, exploring these little snippets here and there. It looks like we're going to be going back to roots with zombies. Yep, there's Homeboy. This murderer in a hood who's hunting us, who's calling us the Chosen One, and this giant Baba Yaga looking man, girl, woman thing, which I know Susie over on Sphere Hunter had theorized could be Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil 1 remake, which would be really neat to see that come back together. But as you can see, they'll be coming out the beginning of next year, which I'm very, very excited about. Can't wait to get back into the series with that. Then sticking with the Resident Evil stuff, we have a mobile game coming out called Resident Evil Survival Unit, which it's not canon. Just want to put that out there immediately. It's one of those base builder type deals, and it's going to have a lot of cameos by characters from the series. Like you have Alyssa Ashcroft, as I just mentioned. Kendo, the gun store owner. Jill, you have like Marvin, Barry Burton, Oscar. Let's see, yeah, Leon, Claire, Carlos, not Oscar. Where did I get Oscar from? But it just looks like kind of a fun little venture away from the more serious tones of the actual series, and it just looks again like a base builder. Like if you played some of the recent games by DC or the Legendary, the guys who are making the Godzilla movies and King Kong movies of the MonsterVerse. The last couple of games they put out have been very much in that same vein of like, oh, it's just a bunch of popular characters put together, and we're doing a base building thing, and it has little mini games here and there. It's nothing, nothing major, but still, something fun to pass the time with. When you're on an airplane ride or waiting for the bus. I told you I'd talk about Superman, right? So I'll start talking about the movie first and talk about the actual thing that I have in front of us here. It was so good. I enjoyed it. I watched it when it came out on the 11th. I'm going to be watching it again this weekend with somebody who doesn't even like Superman because I want to show them how great this movie is. I'm so dedicated. If I had more money, I would just be paying for people's tickets. Okay, it's so good. It's so fun. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. And if you've got spoilers, please don't share them, man. That's really, really not cool. It's very non-punk rock of you. It was fun. James Gunn made playlists for each of the characters in the movie, from Mr. Terrific all the way to Eve. The funniest of which I gotta say is Jimmy Olsen. His songs are all very romance based, but with not taking that fully into your heart to where you're just kind of playing with people's emotions. Plastic Love. So I thought this was just really fun. It was really silly. I also want to point out I've been wearing this like the whole video, and I wore it when I went to go watch the movie. I have a Legionnaire flight ring from like the Legion of Superheroes, which is like 30th century. They have nothing to do with the movie, but I just thought it was something fun to represent liking DC and the series and bringing that to the film. I'm gonna be upfront. I'm not super familiar with Red Sonja. I know she's an independent character, meaning she's not part of the big two, DC and Marvel. But I know she's in the same vein as Conan the Barbarian, to where she's just a very strong, badass character. With that said, I just want to put it out there that there's a movie being made by Samuel Goldwyn Films that looks pretty neat from the snippets they've given us here and there. With her fighting, with her being captured, with her facing this tyrant king, or this attempting tyrant king. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. Again, not familiar, just thought it was something cool. It's the Nerdcast. I'm going to put it out there. For me, on personal stuff, right, outside of the little Nerdcast stuff I got going on, I've just been doing college courses. I started up trying to stream a little bit. I played Peak. I've been getting into Marvel Rivals, namely The Thing. Really good. Feeling fantastic. You gotta say that again. And on the personal projects with Metamorpho and Gold, I haven't really done anything there besides what I had already shown you. Closest thing, in fact, that I have going on is making a Fantastic Four pen for when I go to see the movie, which should be out in like 9 days, maybe 8 days. I'm not sure if I'm uploading this today on the 16th or tomorrow on the 17th. That's all for me, really. Again, not going to ask you to like and subscribe or comment. Just drink some water. If you got meds, please take them on time, and be careful with some of those behavioral meds. The heat is really, really effective on those for some reason. Look out for each other. Don't spoil movies, please. And that's all.